Hola amigos, welcome to another session of Spanish. In the last session you have learned reflexive verbs and also learned to talk about our daily routine, la rutina diaria. In today's session we shall consolidate all the verbs, the AR ending, ER ending, IR ending, reflexive verbs in affirmative and negative sentences. Let us look at some questions which we often use while knowing information about the other person. So, let us start with the expression ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas? What's your name? I hope you remember the expression ¿Cómo te llamas? That you have been using since you began studying Spanish. Well, do you know which verb is conjugated in the expression ¿Cómo te llamas? Is it a normal verb or a reflexive verb? Yes, the verb is a regular AR ending verb, llamarse, and it's a reflexive verb. Es un verbo reflexivo. Literally means to call oneself, or the natural translation of that expression is what is your name? It can be noticed that llamas is preceded by te for you, informal, used here as reflexive pronoun that accompanies the verb. In reply you say me llamo, my name is, and so, don't you? Reflexive pronouns that are used with different forms of conjugated verbs are, you have already learned, right? Me, te, se, nos, os, se. You may also be familiar with the expression ¿a qué te dedicas? ¿A qué te dedicas? I hope you remember the meaning of this expression, don't you? Yes, it is used to ask someone's profession. It means, what do you do? Do you remember how to answer? Yes, muy bien. Yes, you say, soy estudiante. Soy estudiante. You need to notice that the verb, as we have already explained to you earlier, that the verb used in the expression is dedicarse, which is also a reflexive verb. We have dealt with different reflexive verbs in the last lesson in detail, isn't it? Since today's lesson is also about daily routine, let me tell you that to talk about the daily routine, we use reflexive verbs. There are several regular and irregular reflexive verbs that we shall learn today in this lesson. First of all, it is important to know how and when we use reflexive verbs. We use reflexive verbs when the subject and the object is the same in a sentence. In other words, when the subject performs the action on itself. For example, or por ejemplo, Pablo se baña. Pablo se baña. Pablo takes a bath. Juan se lava las manos. Juan washes his hands. Do you know which form of the reflexive verb is used in both of the examples? Yes. Both verbs are in the third person, singular, and therefore the pronoun se. Pablo and Juan, Pablo se baña, Juan se lava. Se lava las manos, Juan himself is doing the action of washing hands. No one is helping him in this. Here the verb is lavarse. We can identify a reflexive verb from the other verbs by its ending of infinitive with se. Therefore, se attached to an infinitive indicates that a reflexive verb is different from normal verbs like bailar, comer, vivir, etc. Por ejemplo, lavarse, acostarse, levantarse, cepillarse, afeitarse, etc. We have seen several reflexive verbs used in different situations. In the last lesson, we have done several conversations. It is important to note that reflexive verbs without reflexive pronouns se convey different meanings. Por ejemplo, levantar and bañar is different from levantarse and bañarse. You may also ask this, here levantar is not a reflexive verb, whereas levantarse is reflexive. Levantar is to wake up someone. To wake someone up means the action is done by the subject upon an object and not on the same subject. La mamá levanta al bebé. La mamá, the mother, levanta, wakes up al bebé, the baby. ¿Entiendes lo que significa esta frase? The mother wakes the child. The child doesn't get up on his own or on her own. Let's take another example. Tú bañas al perro los domingos. Tú bañas al perro los domingos. Here you are doing the action of bathing the dog. On Sundays you bathe the dog. A mi hijo no le gusta cepillarse los dientes todos los días. A mi hijo no le gusta cepillarse todos los días los dientes. ¿Entiendes esta frase? ¿Sabes qué significa cepillarse todos los días? Cepillarse significa to brush. Todos los días, every day. Hence, since the verb gustar is used, the other verb cepillarse comes in infinitive. A mi hijo no le gusta cepillarse todos los días. No le gusta cepillarse. You should always remember that after gustar, poder, querer comes always in infinitive. No puedo cepillarme bien porque me duelen las muelas. No puedo cepillarme bien porque me duelen las muelas. I cannot brush my teeth well because my teeth are aching. Let us look at this sentence after the verb poder. Any verb that comes immediately is always in infinitive. Puedo or no puedo plus verb in infinitive. Puedo levantarme temprano, no tengo ningún problema, pero mi esposo no puede levantarse temprano porque se acuesta muy tarde. I can get up early, I have no problem, but my husband cannot get up early because he goes to sleep late. Puedo levantarme, no puede levantarse. Me, because we are talking about the first person, and in the first sentence and later we are talking about mi esposo, third person, él. So, levantarse. You know very well that por qué, if written as two sentences with an accent on A, is the interrogative why. and if written as one word, it means because. Let us look at these sentences. ¿Por qué estudias español? ¿Por qué estudias español? Why are you studying Spanish? Or why do you want to study Spanish? In reply, one can say, estudio español porque me gusta. Estudio español porque me gusta. Estudio español porque mi novio es mexicano. Estudio español porque mi novio es mexicano. Estudio español porque quiero leer los poemas de Pablo Neruda. Estudio español porque quiero leer los poemas de Pablo Neruda. Estudio español para ir a Cuba el mes que viene. Para ir a Cuba el mes que viene. Estudio español para mi trabajo. Estudio español para mi trabajo. Now, here different students have given different reasons for why they are learning Spanish. Estudio español porque me gusta español mucho. Me gusta. I like Spanish a lot. Ana says, estudio español porque mi novio es mexicano. Ana says, I'm studying Spanish because my fiancé is Mexican. And Yusuf says, estudio español porque quiero leer los poemas de Pablo Neruda. I'm studying Spanish because I want to read poems of Pablo Neruda. Estudio español para ir a Cuba el mes que viene. We have Ana who says, I'm studying Spanish because I'm going to Cuba el mes que viene, coming month. Estudio español para mi trabajo. Another student says, I'm studying Spanish for my job. There's another word in Spanish used for the preposition for por. As an example, muchas gracias por la invitación. Muchas gracias por la invitación. Thank you so much for the invitation. So, you have seen that in Spanish, for the preposition for, you have por and para. Trabajo por 8 horas cada día. Trabajo por 8 horas cada día. I work for 8 hours every day. Trabajo por 8 horas. The difference between por and para could be a bit confusing for you as a learner, like the confusion with verbs ser and estar. We have seen the specific context wherein we use these verbs. Similarly, we shall look at the differences between por and para too. Para means for, and let's look at these sentences. La nueva camisa es para mi novio. The new shirt, la nueva camisa, is para mi novio, is for my fiancé. Para mí, un refresco, por favor. You are with your friends in a bar and you just say, para mí, un refresco. For me, a cold drink, please. You have sentences where both por and para are used. Salgo para Madrid por la mañana. Salgo para Madrid por la mañana. I'm leaving for Madrid in the morning. Salgo para Madrid por Dubai. Salgo para Madrid por Dubai. Para Madrid por Dubai. I'm leaving for Madrid por Dubai, via Dubai, por Dubai. We can say por is used when we talk of destination, the purpose, or as in the example with the verb gustar, which means in order to. Por, on the other hand, is used for expressing gratitude, like gracias por tu ayuda, gracias por tu ayuda, gracias por tu invitación, for your invitation, gracias por tu ayuda, thanks for your help. You have also seen that it is used to denote which part of the day, as in por la mañana, por la tarde, por la noche, por la mañana, in the morning, por la tarde, in the evening, por la noche, at night. You will get over the confusion by practicing some exercises that are given after the lesson. Now, if I ask you, ¿a qué hora te levantas por la mañana? What time do you get up in the morning? How would you reply? Suppose you get up at 6. In reply, you say, me levanto a las 6 de la mañana. I get up at 6 in the morning. Now, there is also another preposition, and if you want to generally talk about the parts of the day, like in the morning, in the evening, in the afternoon, at night, you just say por la mañana, por la tarde, por la noche. But if you are specifying it with time, then you use the preposition de, la mañana. 6 de la mañana, 6 de la tarde, 8 de la tarde, etc. I hope you remember the meaning of a qué hora. It means at what time. We use a qué hora to ask time of a particular event or a program. Por ejemplo, if you are asked, ¿a qué hora empieza la clase de español? What time does your Spanish class start? La clase de español empieza a las 10 de la mañana. But don't get confused with ¿qué hora es? Do you know when to use ¿qué hora es? And when ¿a qué hora? I'm sure. You know it. ¿Estás seguro? Muy bien. In case you don't remember, ¿qué hora es is what time is it? It is used to ask time at that particular moment. Suppose your friend asks you time, your friend says, ¿qué hora es? Or says, ¿tienes hora? And you reply looking at your watch or your mobile and say, sí, son las 6 de la tarde. But ¿a qué hora empieza la clase? Is to ask the time when your Spanish class starts, not the time at that particular moment. In the same way, when I ask, ¿a qué hora te levantas por la mañana? Now you already know how to respond, don't you? You reply saying, me levanto a las 6 de la mañana. ¿Entiendes? Ojo, careful. When you mention the time with the time expression, por la mañana, por la tarde, you have to say a las 6 de la mañana. This is very important for you to remember. Now, let's see a conversation about their daily routine of two friends, Ana and Pedro. Ana says, hola, ¿cuál es tu rutina diaria, Pedro? Now, this conversation is going to be in Spanish, and I don't want to give you the equivalents. You know very well now the verbs. So, please try and find out what they mean in this conversation. Ana says, hola, ¿cuál es tu rutina diaria, Pedro? Pedro says, hola, Ana. Bueno, yo me despierto a las 7 de la mañana. Me baño, me cepillo los dientes, me visto y me voy al trabajo. ¿Cuál es tu rutina? Ana says, yo me despierto a las 6:30, hago los quehaceres y cocino el desayuno. ¿Qué haces tú por la tarde? Y Pedro says, regreso de trabajo a las 5, veo la tele un rato, leo el periódico y luego ceno con la familia. ¿Qué haces tú por la tarde? Ana says, en la tarde trabajo unas horas, ayudo a los niños con la tarea, en la noche cenamos, vemos tele y por último nos acostamos. So you have seen what Pedro and Ana do por la mañana, por la tarde y por la noche todos los días. In other words, what do Pedro and Ana do in a normal day? Here are some questions normally asked between two friends. ¿Qué haces tú normalmente los sábados por la mañana? ¿Qué haces tú normalmente los sábados por la mañana? What do you normally do on Saturday in the morning? How do you reply? You say, me despierto temprano por la mañana y voy al gimnasio los sábados sin faltar y al volver me baño. Luego yo desayuno y después voy a visitar a mis amigos. I wake up early in the morning and then I go to the gym without fail. And after I return, I take bath. Later, I have breakfast. Afterwards, I go to visit my friends. See? Muy bien. And let's continue with another question. ¿Qué haces los domingos por la tarde? What do you do on Sundays in the evening? Is there anything special you do on Sunday evening? You can say, yo descanso mucho, veo la tele, leo libros y los domingos vamos a visitar a los padres. Vamos a visitar a los padres. I take rest a lot, watch television, read books, and on Sundays we visit our parents. You have several options to talk about the frequency of the events that you do. Like for example, sí, casi todos los días, no, solo 3 veces a la semana. ¿Sabes qué significa casi todos los días? Casi todos los días significa almost every day. ¿Qué haces antes de acostarte? ¿Qué haces antes de acostarte? What do you do before going to bed? Do you remember the structure antes de and después de? Yes, good. In reply you say, me cepillo los dientes antes de acostarme. I brush my teeth before I go to bed. Muy bien. So far the lessons are going fine. Muy bien. You have learned quite a lot in this lesson, right? Very good. Keep it up. More to come, and you will be able to converse very well in Spanish. As far as this lesson goes, you learned how to make or ask different sentences, questions using regular, irregular and reflexive verbs. You have also learned the differences between por and para and have learned to make sentences with porque too. Porque, because. Porque as a question and porque as an answer. We have also seen how to express the frequency of the activities and when to use reflexive pronouns after the verbs in infinitive. For example, we have used reflexive pronouns after después de, antes de, etc. So, practice all of them in the exercises given. That's all for today, with some more new and interesting topics in the next class. Adiós, hasta luego, cuídense. Gracias.